Welcome back, guys. Episode 16 of the Jay Hutton Show. My guest today, if you watch ITV and you watch Real Housewives of Cheshire, you'll definitely know these two are Joe and Nicole Sealey. How are we, guys?
I'm good, Jay. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
It's all right.
Might not say that after, but okay.
No, we're not going to. Nothing untoward going on. Nothing untoward. So, how's things? We good?
How's things, Nicole?
Yeah, good. It's been, we've just finished filming. So
You're shattered, aren't you?
Yeah. Heartburn. I've had reunion. I feel that reunion caused heartburn. I'm only joking.
Yeah.
It's been a busy few months, hasn't it, with work and filming,
Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
Filming's long, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think cramming it in on top of working, and I think certainly after COVID, from a business perspective, I've had a lot of changes, and so there's been a lot going on there. I mean, we've got 3 adult children, but I mean, I say children, they are adults, but they come with their own set of
How old are
issues. They? 25, 21 and 20.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll know this, like people see 45 minutes an hour of a show.
Yeah.
But you film 24 hours of a week for that 1 hour.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't
There's
it?
a lot more going on in the background than people think.
You probably film, I reckon, on average about, depending how much you're involved, but because I've got a big mouth.
You're always involved, you are.
Because sometimes I should just not speak.
So the bigger your mouth, the more airtime.
She don't shut up on
But
there.
even when I don't want to, it just comes out. So no, probably about 4 days a week. But if you think, even if they're like split days, and then trying to work around that, it might be evenings.
Really?
You probably average a finale a week. Then you do a trip for a week. So that's obviously constant. The trip.
And that's every series, is it?
Every series, yeah.
Basically, our format of our show works differently to yours. So at the end of every episode, there is a party or a launch or an event. So there's always a nighttime filming.
Oh, really?
Which will start at like 4, finish at
whatever time.
Whatever.
And you know yourself, it's the preparation.
Yeah.
Not so much for him, but obviously hair, makeup.
What do you mean? What do you mean him?
You just get ready, don't you? I feel really bad for him, actually. No, I feel really bad, actually, because, I don't know if you know, Joe had obviously been in hospital.
No.
He got taken really poorly. And so we watched, obviously, some of the episodes back before we do reunion. So we've obviously can see what they've all been bitching about. But when we watched
we get them early.
But poor Joe, like about Ep 3, he's obviously done his masters, like where he talks, but it's like the day before he ends up in hospital. So you're not looking too fresh, are you? On that episode.
Joe, if you didn't keep bringing it up in every conversation, in every interview we do, no one would know.
But I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get people prepared that you don't look that bad. I've got a couple of really. There's one scene
It's because
where
you've got a massive head.
I know I've got a fat face. I have got a really fat face. Look, I mean, you can see me. I'm not that tall, right? But I do have a fat face.
Like a bobblehead.
Yeah. So it's just not always great for screen. But there's a scene not on dissimilar sofa to this, and I'm at Seamer's at Forever Unique. I look like I've eaten myself. It's just the worst angle. It's like you just, even at my age, you're looking. I tell myself, no, I don't think you do look that bad. But I'm sure when the trolls come out, they will say, what? I look like I'm about 5 months pregnant and I have like 3 times the size of a head.
You get a lot of trolling.
No, I'm not too bad.
I love it. Yeah.
Love the banter.
Yeah, I love it. I mean,
He
I don't get loads
encourages
of
it.
it. I don't get loads of it. But what I do, I repost it. And I communicate with them because I kind of think this, they've got to find you, watch you on telly, find you, write a message, send it. And I was like, I spent 10 minutes in your head, mate. I love it. I absolutely love it.
It is true.
But I'm quite lucky. I think I'm one of those people. I don't think you can offend me, can you? Do you think anything can offend me?
I've been trying for
I never
years.
ever get offended.
You're bulletproof if that's the case, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm lucky in that way. And I don't know whether that comes from my sports background and being
No,
brought
it's
up in
just
that.
you're not very sensitive, babe.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah.
Whatever they say is funny.
Yeah,
That's
I mean, from we talked about. I did an interview the other day. Actually, and we were talking
You're
about
not too
stuff
bad
like
with
that.
it either now.
I don't
At
think
the start, you didn't like it.
Yeah,
No.
I think it's a big shock to start. I mean, I have never had a huge amount, but there's been different times because people really get invested into it.
Yeah.
So if they see something or they because I've not got very long arms for a while, people are like, And the thing about my short arms, I'm like, literally, if you've got nothing else to say, but like, it's not going to change, is it? So I'm just like, yeah. I mean, it's that I've got a bit of Mongolian in me. It's why the arms are short. It's just hereditary. What do you want? But the interaction of that, if it was something about my family, I think I'd have more of an issue. If it's me directly, most of the time I won't kind of respond. I'd ignore if it was a troll. If I think they've got a point, I might. But I usually have a way of then, by the time I explain it or say something, they're usually apologising. So it's the way you handle it, isn't it?
Do you know, I find that, they write it and I think they think you're not really going to see it because you have so many. Yeah. And then when you do, and you respond, they're like, I'm only joking, mate.
Yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree with you.
And do you know what? I think, obviously, look, listen, we were talking about the Love Island. On the interview I did, we were saying, like, the young ones that are on, like, say, Love Island, it might be the first thing they've really ever done. Yeah. Might not even have had really a job, like when our kids are starting out.
Yeah.
And then to be attacked as a young woman or even a guy, the way that you might look or, speak, whatever it is, must be really difficult because even at that age, it's hard growing up. But for us, I'm like nearly 50.
I think, and I say it to everyone, because some of the people on our show will moan about it more than others, and I'll say to them, listen, we choose to go on telly.
Yeah.
Right? We choose to be on a reality show that opens your life up.
Yeah.
That kind of gives them the right to say, open them the right to say what they want you, because you're putting yourself in that situation. Yeah. If you don't want to be, come off social media. Yeah. Don't be on the telly.
Yeah, you have a choice to do that, don't you?
Do you know what I mean?
Yourself.
It's your choice.
The kids, I think, I feel a bit more sorry for. I have to say, like, I'm a grown woman. I've got a business. I mean, like, for me, this is just a new experience in life.
It's like you know who you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, listen, there's days when no one wants to be called, like, when I first joined the show, Lauren calls me fat.
Right.
And, like, so then everyone jumped on it. And, like, at that point, I think I was probably the heaviest I've been. So say I was a size 12, but it's still not huge.
Right.
But, was going through, which we're talking about, that obviously approaching perimenopause or menopause. So your body as a woman changes.
Yeah.
And I obviously then, she'd focused on the fact that she's called me fat the first week in. And so then I had a bit of that. It's not ideal, is it? No one wants to be called fat.
That was the first week on the show?
Yeah, it's like the first week on the show.
First scene.
Was it?
And because I'm not very, I mean,
people. When
I look, I don't know about you, but when you meet people that are on the telly off, the ones that I think do look better on TV are the ones that are very angular, quite tall, very lean. If you're short and a little bit round like me, it kind of is not great. But yeah, look, listen. She laughs now. It's okay because I'm thinner than her now, so it's all good.
Oh, there we go. That's a clip.
Yes.
It's right, Lauren.
No, she won't know what that means either. You know what that means, clip, mate, do you? It's the bit you show people so they can watch it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my God, imagine. Do you think that, like, going back to what Nicole said, because your sports background and in football, obviously the crowd, I mean, they give you some shit, don't they? So do you think that's helped make you...
Yeah, I think it's the crowd and I think it's a changing room mentality. Because when I was playing, it was 75 players in very small... I was at West Ham, a few change rooms at Chapel Heath, and it was like you had to survive. Yeah. There was more of the stuff that they phased out now. I would never call it abuse because I quite enjoyed that part of the game. I did. I liked it. I liked the banter. I liked the male thing. And I think being in that environment, and I was brought up in it with my dad. Yeah. So I was always sort of told, look,
get on with it.
Whatever you're doing, whether it's football, TV, it's a job. Yeah. So my dad used to come home, he's still my dad. His job was Man United footballer, and people abuse you in the street or like you in the street. Yeah. We wouldn't be going to Liverpool, for example, when he was at Man United. But I think that gives me a backing of whatever, maybe I'm bulletproof with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I feel the same as you, though, to be honest. And I think it comes from, I don't know, for me personally, it's like when you've got lad mates and you're all lads banter and they just take the piss out of you and you take the piss out of them, you just take it on the chin. It's just a laugh in it. So I feel the same when people give me a little bit of stick. I just like to have a bit of banter back.
But equally, and having like a son that plays football now, and the way that I think the world has changed. Yeah. And I think that is equally, as much as you're joking and stuff, I think to address the fact that mental well-being is important. And I think that for the people that have gone through COVID, and I do say this, I think that it's young people have experienced something that's never been experienced before. No, I'm saying about the way... No,
where are you going with this?
No, I've gone with it because what I'm saying is it's all right about saying that, but I don't know that they're so well equipped to cope with it.
It's a different time.
That's what I was trying to say.
Brought up and stuff, you would... I don't know, it's like... people aren't as resilient anymore.
That's what
I
I'm
think
trying
like
to say,
when
I
I talk to
suppose.
people at clubs now, there's a lot more childcare and there's a lot more mental well-being, which is great.
Welfare,
But there's also things that I think in sport are too much the other way now. So I speak to some of the coaches at West Ham, and now, so like if we lost or we were performing badly, they'd run us, right? You can't run kids no more until they're 16 plus, because otherwise that's child abuse. So if they're misbehaving in games or they're losing, you can't make them do box to boxes anymore.
Really?
That's seen as abuse. Like
It's a balance, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a balance, and I think there needs to be football and all sport. As, you know, I come from a football background. It's easy for me to talk about that. You're the 1% of the 1% that are going to make it in the Premier League, and you better be tough, because this is a eat you and spit you out game, and clubs will release you quicker than let you in.
Yeah.
So there's no loyalty. So you've got to be resilient to the hard times, and I think that's important.
I think you're right.
And
though.
life, it's a good life lesson.
I think life's not always easy, and I think like TV, sport, they're all really hard things to stay in, to stay at the top. You know, it is a dog eat dog, isn't
When we get
it?
to the top,
and you are a commodity. Well, I think you're a commodity. What do you mean? How very rude.
We would check your Housewives and go,
Listen.
well, I'm made in Chelsea or something. It's like people watch.
Listen, in my head, I'm at the top.
I'm joking. I love our show.
No, do you know what? What I'm saying is that whatever you do to retain that level, it is dog eat dog, isn't it? And you are a commodity.
Yeah.
People don't care about you.
No.
And I'm sorry, that's a simple fact. They don't care whether you play sport, whatever.
It's true. Yeah. Like you're only useful until you're not anymore, aren't you?
100%.
But equally, as an employer or running a business, what I will relate that back to is I'm only as good as the last job that we do. Yeah. Because if I mess up a job that I'm doing, that's what people remember.
You're shit 5 days a week, don't you?
No, excuse me, I've run a business for 28 years. I'm just saying. I've
Is this what it's like? Are you two like this every day at home?
Yeah.
Just having digs at each other.
Yeah. I'm better wild than her, ain't I? When I first met her, she was like a flower.
Oh, yeah.
Used to cry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, she never
definitely
been
not.
Like, that's why we're so
people go, why don't you really cry? I did get a bit upset on this series, though, when you were in hospital. So it was like the first time really, I think, on camera that I've got that emotional. So that was an interesting...
Are you allowed to talk about why you were...
Yeah, I'll talk about it. I mean, we don't really know what caused it. So I ended up with fluid on my heart, a blood clot and a blood infection. But I had so much fluid, it stopped me breathing, basically. So I couldn't breathe. I thought I was having a heart attack, but it took 3 or 4 days for them to work out. One, what was wrong because the pain was here.
Yeah.
So, but I now know because of the fluid, it was pushing on nerves that were giving me pains.
Wow.
And things, but it got to a point where I couldn't breathe.
You were in for 4 days.
I was in 4 days intensive care. So I was on a unit with 4 people. I was on high dependency unit. 2 died.
Wow.
I swear to God, 2 people died. And when I was leaving, and 1 was on the way out because you weren't allowed in really. And that family got let in at 11 o'clock in the morning. The 4 beds I was in, this one, 4 beds like that. And the guy opposite me crossed. I thought he's going.
Well, I felt really bad, but the hospital we were in.
COVID was full.
It was so busy. And actually, when I was leaving, when I was going out, and this is unfortunately a fact of life, they were struggling so much for beds. And one of them did say, well, basically, that one down there is obviously going to come free shortly because they're on their way out. They need the beds. It was so rammed in there.
So I'm still waiting to find out what caused it. I don't really know whether the infection caused the fluid or the fluid caused the infection. The infection causing the heart problem is worse because every infection I get could go that way. Right. But what's good at this is that organ-wise, my heart's 100%, my organs are 100%. They checked everything because they thought it was in my kidneys or all that to start with. But Nicole thinks, I'm really surprised because she doesn't think this stuff, that I had my booster 4 weeks before. And she thinks it was a result of that because they found a lot of COVID scarring on my lungs in all the x-rays. And I had COVID at the start of COVID. But when I had COVID, I was completely normal. We've got a gym at home. I was training every day. I was like this. I wasn't ill at all. We're not. Really? Or nothing. So you think it was that, and she doesn't believe. I've never heard her say any of that stuff. It's not like I'm a conspiracy theorist. No, you're not. No.
But I actually, when I look at it,
had to go to Italy for work and I had a booster. Yeah. And it was all quite close to it.
Yeah. So I know a few people. So you don't know, do you? But it is what it is, and you're fine now anyway.
I think everyone seems to react differently to it, don't they? Like I've heard some horror stories about people who've had it, and then other people who've had it been fine. And then...
Well, you think actually by me having the jab, because I had COVID really badly, I could not wake up. Like literally.
But she had her jabs by that point.
I'd had my jabs, and you do say if I hadn't had my jabs. So you can argue it either way. But I'm just saying I don't know, and we don't know, and we're never going to. But you're all right now, so, move on.
Yeah.
So you were over in hospital for 4 days?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so what happened was I woke up the night before midnight. She's not that caring, really, right? So she thinks I'm a bit of the boy.
No, he's a bit of a
so I woke up at 12
contact.
o'clock at night. I'm in pain, but my pain's in my chest and my left arm at this point. And I'm thinking I've got really bad indigestion, or I'm having a heart attack. Now, my dad died of an heart attack at 42. I'm 39. So
Really?
Yeah. So I end up getting up and I'm sitting on a chair just in front of our bed. And she's going, you need to go. She's sort of like getting annoyed because I've woke her up. Right. And I've gone, can you get me my Apple Watch? I want to check my heart rate. She wasn't on charge. She charged it, put it next to me on the floor. She went, you can get that. Laid back in the bed anyway. I've ended up getting her back up, saying, get the massage gun and massage my back and see if it moves. Ends up, I'm in a bit of pain still, but it ends up getting easier. I lay back on the bed, but I can't lay down. I now know it's because of the fluid pressing on me, but I didn't know this.
Yeah.
So I sat up and I fell asleep maybe for an hour. I got up in the morning, I went in the gym, right? 'Cause I still thought I've got indigestion, it'll move.
Yeah.
Went on my bike and that. Got in the shower, I'm in pain, but I'm all right. I sat in the car, start driving into Manchester. I'm in agony. Sitting down or laying down was agony. I was in agony. So I stopped at the Shell carriage on the way to town, Princess Parkway, and I bought Renee's. So I meet Chewy and Renee's. Still a bit of indigestion. I get a bit more foot down towards Moss side. I get out of the car, stand on the outside of the car, and I'm leaning on it and I think I'm going to die. Right, so I'm in so much pain, I can't breathe. And I thought two things went through my head. One, I'm in Moss side. Right?
You can't say that.
No, I'm in Moss side. I'm on the side of the road. I'm in a Bentley and I can't move. I ain't going to have to fight. Right, I'm going to have to get somewhere. So I get back in the car.
I can't fight you.
Yeah, I can't breathe. So I get in the car and I think I'm going to see Sandeep at Forever Unique. So
You rang me, didn't you?
I'm like, get to the AO Arena and I literally can't function. I can't move. I can't breathe. But I'm driving and I ring her. She's on speed dial. I ring her. I say, ring Sandeep.
But you didn't say that.
I did. I can't breathe.
So I'm having a
heart attack. I'm going to be in his car park in 30 seconds. So I put in the car park and he's there. Yeah. I get out of the car and because it feels better when I stand up because the fluid drops. I'm walking around the car park and I'm still convinced I've got indigestion. I say, have you got a can of Coke? So get me a can of Coke. But he's only got half a can because somebody's drunk the last can. So I've drunk this half a can. And then we go to start having the meeting I was having and he went, I need to take you to hospital. He got me in the car, his car, drove me to hospital. I was in agony. And then 3 hours later, I was at a point in the room. They had no beds. I was on a plastic chair. They wouldn't let her in. I couldn't breathe. And I actually thought, I'm going to die in this room.
Really?
I swear to you, most scared I've ever been. I didn't want to die in Salford Hospital now. But I did. But it's the truth. So I sat there and I couldn't breathe and leaning forward. They'd left me to go and get a specialist or a load of people. And she weren't allowed in. And I thought, I'm going to die in this room.
They did in the end.
I did think I was going to die. In the end, they put me on morphine. They couldn't examine me. They couldn't get me back.
Because he was in so much pain.
Couldn't to examine me. Wow. Just so tense. So they give me a load of morphine, which relaxed me, lay me down, and they could start scanning me, CTs, heart scans. And
you had a good medical, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a great medical, yeah. But it was scary. I mean, Sandeep took me, and I reckon if I didn't go at that point, I would have got to that point in 3 hours where I was sitting there and I was in that much pain. My body was shutting down, really. Yeah. I probably would have had an heart attack by the time I would have got to the hospital. It would have caused a heart attack from the breathing and my respiration.
Yeah. That's
pressure.
Fucking crazy,
yeah, it was close. But actually now I'm fine.
And do you think that you will have had this in your head because obviously you said your dad passed away young.
Bothered me,
do you just think, were you panicking then?
Yeah, I was a little bit.
In the night, you definitely
were. Yeah, I definitely, because I'd never had pain like that. In the end, when I woke up in the morning, it moved. The pain had moved, but the pain was caused by the nerves, as I said, not my heart or anything. So I didn't know that. I was panicking. And I said to somebody yesterday, I've always felt like, I don't know why, I'm invincible. Like, I ain't ever going to get cancer. I don't know why I think it's not going to get cancer. I ain't going to get ill. Fuck it. That's how I feel. I don't feel like it so much now because I was ill.
He's having a bit of a midlife crisis, nearly 40 as well. He ain't liking that either.
But I was properly ill, weren't I? Yeah. In hospital, I was, wasn't I?
Were.
I was like,
but I told him, the little boy that cries wolf, because you're quite dramatic, You've learned that. You are in life, you're usually quite dramatic. So, and even his mum was like, and then after, you are quite funny because you still do the face that you do when you were 5, she tells me. So we now know, do you know what I mean? And that's why. It's not that I'm not sympathetic. Look, can you get me? So, yeah, but you're good now, and that's no, focus on the fact that you're good. So, and you've
recovered quite quickly, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you are invincible, because if you...
No one's invincible.
I hope so.
We like to believe we are, don't we? So.
Yeah, but I do think, because my sister just turned 40, she's not that happy about it. And equally, I didn't care. I think it's a privilege to
You're
get
nearly
older.
50, just shut up.
Yeah, I know. You were telling me I was nearly 40 from when I was about 33.
See, does age bother you?
Not me.
See, it doesn't bother me either.
You say no. I think this year it has.
No, maybe the first time ever I've started thinking about dying a bit and all that. But like, I'm not.
It's a bit dramatic.
Really
I thought you just didn't like the fact you've
got
more
Joe,
grey hairs.
what about every newspaper says I'm 36, every article says I'm 36.
I've changed that now, though.
She brings them up.
So
there was a piece just online in the Sun. She rang the journalist. Didn't you? He rang the PR and said, "Can you tell him he's 39? Because I'm getting the app."
Not about the whole story he said was fake, but get his age right.
Yeah. Get his age right.
Get the age right. Yeah, no, I don't. I'm not that. I mean, we laugh because my mum always lied about her age and that, which was a bit of a standing joke. But actually, wouldn't you rather look good? People go then think she's not wearing well, and it maybe because I had been ill. Young.
She had cancer in her 20s.
25.
You did?
Yeah. So,
really?
So I think that I just think it's a privilege to get older. I mean, look, listen, we'd all like to still be 20, but it's not possible.
No.
And no matter what you do, I mean, within reason, you can't turn back time. So just live. And also, if you could do it and be, they always say, don't they? If I'd be great at being 25 now.
Yeah.
So good at it,
yeah.
But that's not possible. So we just got to rub.
And all the time, when you think that you want to be 25 with your brain and the way you think now,
100%,
not 25 when I was 25.
Because how old are you?
I was a mess when I was 25. Yeah.
I think 30 is a good age.
I want my brain. I would like to know what I know now back then.
Yeah,
not live the life I lived back then.
No, could you imagine if you knew everything you knew now and would go back to being that age?
Tremendous.
Oh my God.
But there's also good things with at our age. Do you know what I mean? With the kids, it comes with a lot of freedom. So it's like, don't be scared of getting that little bit older. Because actually, look, as long as your health is good.
Yeah.
I think I'm just sort of feeling, like I said, I'm 48. I'm just, yes, Joe, nearly 50. Yes. Okay.
48 and a half, really.
Well, not really. I'm only April. It's not quite half, but it's okay. Yeah, so it is like starting to think about that, you do need to maybe take a little bit of the stress down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've been trying to do that for years.
She's quite a stressful person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I thrive probably a little
You're very good with stress.
I feel like you're chilled out.
I am. She'll tell you I know what you're going to say. With different things, I'm the strict one.
Parenting, yeah.
Yeah, but I am chilled out.
But have you got daughters?
Both.
2 daughters and a son.
Why?
No, he's actually the strict.
No, I'm strict
no
about
one thinks that.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a pushover.
She's a daily screamer and a pushover, but I'm more like...
But at work, I'm not.
If I get involved, there's a problem. But no, at work, I'm quite relaxed. I mean, I can get stressed out. I get stressed out sometimes about things stupid things that really shouldn't stress me out.
I feel like you'd be calm about major situations.
Yeah, she's great in a crisis. She's great in a crisis, yeah.
Deaf.
Yeah, I can sit there and be a bit of a catastrophizer, really.
Yeah, you make things worse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even though everything's fine, life's fine, like I'm going to run out of money.
He says, I was like, chill.
It ain't never going to happen, but...
Yeah.
Well, touch wood.
So I actually think the little thing,
things that work stuff, daily stuff, don't bother me
little things
too
can
much.
irritate me to lose, but big things I'm actually
when we work together in certain, we've got quite a few different investments and businesses. When we do together, I learned a long time ago. I don't mind the confrontation stuff, but she's better at that than me. Really,
basically, I'm in charge.
So I'll go to her. Jay's doing something wrong. He's doing this, and she'll go out the office and go, fucking
really?
Yeah. That's really good. She can't keep it in.
Really?
Yeah. They used to call her the eagle.
Listen, I think
the eagle.
The eagle's here coming on. I remember once she was giving someone a bollocking, and we had some gyms at the time.
So much anymore.
And we had this office that was like around the corner, and I looked around, and 2 of the people that worked there had their heads around the corner and went, because she was going berserk at somebody else in the other room.
Hide.
Yeah.
No, I've mellowed a little bit. I've mellowed a little bit.
Why do you think you chilled though?
I don't know, you work out. Look, listen,
She worked in a very male industry. Her
Yeah.
business is in a very male industry. I think you had to be how you was.
No, I mean, I didn't ever feel like I talked about this yesterday, actually. I didn't feel that you don't have to be, a woman acting like a man. I don't think I've ever done that.
No.
Do you know what I mean? You don't, everyone laughs on the railway, me and my high heels. Do you know what I mean? It's like a standing joke. Do you know what I mean? Toting along. But what I do think is you have to be strong.
Yeah.
You don't have to behave in a certain way, but your strength is, and otherwise people will walk all over you.
Yeah, 100%.
And they were talking about the way that things have changed from it being quite chauvinistic. It was, the industry itself was very chauvinistic, was very racist, was all of those things.
Which industry are you talking about?
Railway.
She owns a railway construction business. That's her main business.
So it was, and in the early days, I was. Like there were no women. There's
not many now.
Not many now, but there are a lot more. And things have changed. But I said I had a client, which I obviously won't name them, a guy that worked for him, and I had a big contract with him. And it was when I'd kind of had won quite a bit of work. Yeah. And he used to, bear in mind I'm the MD, calling me Doris. Can you imagine now doing that? It just wouldn't get away with it.
No.
And there are still things. I mean, look, I do still believe there's a balance. We also don't want to become too much of a nanny state, do we?
No.
So I think that even as a woman, yes, it's not right, some of the stuff that's gone on, but equally we can tip the other way as well. It's a balance, isn't it? So it's just getting that balance right. But as I get older, I was saying that I want to do more. I'm doing more investments into young entrepreneurs, and I want to do more of that. I've just taken 50% of an electrical company. Good fit with me. The guy's only 30. He's done amazingly well in 2.5 years.
Looks like we're going to be getting involved in the CBD company.
So another company like products.
Another young entrepreneur one.
And also equally, I get asked by a lot of young women about my journey. So as much as I didn't want to really talk about the fact that I'm a woman in a male industry, I actually do now want to pass on the experience that I've had.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I think it's important.
Yeah, massively, especially with these young people now. Like, I think a lot of people at that age are a bit lost.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a lot of it's down to do with social media and the comparison thing.
I completely agree with you.
Everyone's worried about, like, I think everyone feels like they need to be like everyone else.
You're comparing yourself to perfection. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, but that person on social media isn't perfection.
No, but
they're showing you what they want.
No, but they're perceiving perfection. So, like, for me growing up, there wasn't social media. I'm not being funny. There was barely a mobile phone. I mean, we used to, if you want to go on a date, someone
used pigeons when you was a kid, didn't they?
No,
fuck me.
I'm not that old.
I bet you never had an house phone when you was a kid. You didn't. No one had a phone in Bow.
No, but if someone wanted to take you on a date, they'd have to ring up the house. Do you know what I mean? It's like if you want to go meet someone, you'd have to say you're going to be there.
Yeah. You what? You're taking my daughter out, mate. No. Go away. Yeah,
I think there could have been a bit of that as well. But yeah, so I mean, it's different. And like you say, all the editing, all of this, all of that. Yeah. I mean, you're comparing yourself to
I think it's dangerous.
Perfect.
I think you are spot on. I mean, Andrew Tate is a prime example of something that now has worked unbelievably well, but I don't know, but I think he ain't come from anything and has hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
But people are looking at that now thinking that, and I like him. I mean, I like that character. He makes me laugh. You won't know, you don't go on TikTok. But he makes me laugh. But like to aim to be like that, I don't know how you would do it.
The thing is, he's authentic.
Yes, I think that's why.
He is what he is. Yeah. Like everything he's saying, he believes.
I agree.
You can't fake that.
No, it's hilarious.
So I think if there was a load of young lads trying to be like that, you're just going to think, stop it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, I don't know, you just can't be like that.
It's moving on. Like you've got,
so
the industry's so different now. Social media's a bit.
I mean, it's overload,
I think that bit's stopping, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think that's been flooded, but I think there's loads of opportunities on social media now. It's a new industry. I remember our middle one, who's just finished uni, nearly 22, said to me when she was about 10, we was on holiday, 11, 12, we'll be a YouTuber. I went,
really?
no job.
Ridiculous, he said.
I went, no job.
You wish you had now.
Fuck me, I fucked up there, didn't I? I didn't see that one coming.
The thing is, though, there's a fine line in it because the YouTubers that get massive, there's something about them, isn't there?
1,000,000%.
And it's like I've said this a few times. Imagine if you had a son and they said, I want to be a gamer. You think, is he good at gaming or does he just want to fuck about in his room and game all day? Yeah. How do you know if he's good at it or not?
It's like anything, I suppose, now. You've got to give it a go. But you're right. Like, I mean, you know some of the ones I know, some of the top YouTubers in this country, they have got something about them. And a lot of them have come from nowhere and they do it hours a day, hours and hours a day, edit, make for a long time before they crack that video.
Yeah.
But it's
To
the
get them to where
same
they
then,
need to be.
isn't it?
It's
In
hard work.
anything
Anything's
is.
hard work. Yeah, it isn't easy.
Nothing comes easy unless you're really lucky.
Yeah,
Well, that's it. That's what they're saying. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
yeah.
That's what they say, though, isn't it?
Yeah. The harder you work, the luckier you get now.
It's true. You got to work hard. Like, obviously, where are you guys originally from? Because you're not from the same place, are you?
We are near each other actually, but we come from very different backgrounds. I say.
Joe's a bit more Essex than me.
Oh, right. Okay.
So like my background's, my best friend Phil says to me, he says to me, I'm famous for two things. One, I'm Les Sealey's son, and I'm Nicole Sealey's husband. But so my background really is I'm from, I always say I'm from the lucky sperm club. I had good parents. My dad was a Premier League footballer. I've never really had to.
You've never gone without, have you?
Not really, but she come from a different, where they didn't even have an home at some point, and she was half homeless at 16.
But then equally,
and you've worked. You have done brilliant.
But
You've dug yourself out of shit, really. You.
Yeah, but what I would say is that equally, my stomach was grumbling.
But we're from about 8 miles apart.
Yeah, from about 8 miles apart. But I saw both sides. My dad then was self-made after, so I did see a bit of wealth.
Yeah.
But then he equally lost
it.
his money, and so when I was 15, I lived on my own. So I left home at 15.
When you're 15? Wow.
Yeah.
Very good now.
So yeah,
That's young, that.
So yeah, and there's been
She had it
times.
tough.
Yeah, so lived in. I've 43 houses have I lived in?
something like that.
43 houses.
We haven't moved for 8 years, have we?
Yeah, this is the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life.
Really?
But yeah, look, listen, people nowadays think that they deserve so much, but you have to earn it. You don't. No one
A
deserves
lot of people
anything.
feel entitled now, don't they?
Entitled is probably a better word.
Yeah,
Actually,
They do. A lot of people feel entitled.
And as a parent, and I probably overcompensate, and actually because things were hard for me, I probably it's where I fall down a little bit on the parenting skills because I overcompensate of trying to get better at it. But
In what
I don't,
sort of way?
Because I don't want them to have it as tough as I had. But actually, a little bit of tough love is actually probably good for them.
There's a level of, I think, there's a balance of giving them too much where they don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Or you've got to
work.
work if you're in our family. But
Yeah.
there's a level of, you need to live, if you're earning 200 quid a week, and that's what you've got, you need to learn to live on 200 quid a week.
Yeah, 100%.
You can't have an extra 300 quid. Do you know what I mean? You've got to, where they'll text her, she'll bend.
Really?
I won't.
No.
There will be, I will not
That's
bend.
why none of them text.
They won't ring me. They won't ring me about it because I'll say, no, where's your money? What's happened?
Yeah,
No,
what are
don't
we
eat.
doing it?
Don't eat.
Yeah. So I can't,
Come home and eat. Do you know what I mean?
but I think that's just from an experience of maybe the differences that you've never gone without.
Probably.
I have.
Yeah, that's 100%.
So I
like if if it all went wrong, I'd go live with my mum. Do you know what I mean? She'd look after me, wouldn't I? Like she's coming up today. My mum's, everyone still babies me. Like I've never made a bed.
Really?
I've never washed my clothes.
in lockdown, he
I
did
ironed for the first
iron.
time ever. So I said, I'm going to help in lockdown. I'll iron. I've never ironed. I've never done
Did you burn
anything.
your clothes?
I think I was good at it. I quite enjoyed it. To watch the telly and I
you said you
my
were
mum
gonna
when I was a kid,
continue.
like did it all. Then I got married, and then that was it. My mum was like, "I'm really sorry." He's like,
But I love the way
she didn't apologise to her.
No, she's mum apologises.
They got on really
It's
well.
fine. I'm getting all your inheritance.
Yeah,
She's
I've told her that.
me.
I've told her to give it to you.
But no, it's interesting though. So when I sometimes hear him saying to the kids,
Yeah, but I don't want it to be like me. It ain't
no,
right
I get
how
that.
I am either.
I get that. And I'm like, oh my God, it's so ironic that you're saying all of those things.
I mean, I don't know if you like my 20s weren't great.
Really?
I had a real bad time, depression, drug abuse, all sorts of stuff, and I don't want that for my kids.
No.
So my mum, when my dad died, was too soft on me. So if I needed money, she'd give it to me, but I was just buying drugs.
Really?
Yeah, it's the truth. I talk about it all the time. I have no problem with it. And I don't want, my kids not doing that, but I don't want that for them.
No.
So I see from my side, if you do too much,
Yeah.
they ain't got to do anything for themselves.
Yeah.
And that was my problem, really.
Yeah.
She should have been hard with me. I say it to her now.
if only parenting came with a manual.
Yeah.
Of
The
course.
thing is,
A really good
Of course,
one.
yeah, of course, yeah, of course.
winging it, aren't you? Of
course, yeah.
Off your own experience, basically.
We will look at a lot of people we know, like maybe have got like younger kids and stuff like that. And I'm like, I
Went to
hate
park
to
last
tell
night with 30 young kids.
I hate to tell you, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Actually, you're still navigating. If you're actually truly a parent, you're a parent forever.
No
It
one's
doesn't
perfect.
stop.
No one's a perfect parent.
No.
You just do your best you can do.
That's
Yeah.
why I think I know that, you know what, when I sit there and I think regardless of, all my children speak to me, so that's a good start.
Yeah.
I think they all know that, I love them.
Yeah.
So all you can do is love them, be there for them.
Yeah.
And that's it, isn't it?
100%.
You know?
It's a respect thing as well. I think if your kids respect you, that's all you need. I think, because I remember growing up, my dad was like the kindest, caring soul, but he was tough on us as well. Like, not in a never hit us or anything like that, but we didn't fuck him about when we knew not to.
That was like my dad, yeah.
Yeah, we were just like, you know, what he said goes, and like, even as grown men, like, you wouldn't answer my dad back. He's the only person I wouldn't answer back, like, you know.
Yeah.
I never swore
respect.
until I was like 19. I actually did not. I do now, but
I do think that's getting older with the younger generations because of phones and social media and
interaction.
Even how strict. They're not scared of police anymore, are they? They're not scared of teachers. They're not scared of where, like, I was a little bit like, if I get in trouble at school, my dad's going to fucking police it. And also, teacher might give me a clump or the police. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think kids now have any fear because there's none of that. Terrified of
it's
of
brainwashing the youngsters now, because if you know, I notice a lot of things now. If something bad happens in the street, instead of helping, people get their phones out. Because they want it to go viral on their account and make that's what they're thinking before helping the problem.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
It's fucking scary, the world. And I think to bring kids up now in this world is
tough.
Yeah, very hard.
Yeah, really
very
tough.
hard.
Yeah, really tough. But you know what? Every cycle, everybody thinks. I mean, I look at stuff now, even when we would look at stuff that goes on. I can remember being a kid and that seeming like such a long way away, but actually generation and it moves and it becomes normal, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
Like there wasn't even a computer when I was a kid. I mean, like, look at the difference. Right, I'm old, I know. I'm not helping myself, am I? I'm really old. I'm just going to stop.
You didn't have a computer, now you're going to space.
Yes, Joe's booked for me to go to space.
Yeah, remember you telling me about
so she never had a computer, now she might be going there, although the kids are not that happy. I don't know what's going to happen, actually.
But, do you know, I taught myself to use a computer at 21.
Really?
I'd never even learnt to type at school because obviously there was typewriters.
Yeah, typewriters, yeah. Remember typewriters?
Yeah. And so, but girls did then probably more the girls did typing. And I never took that class. And then obviously all of a sudden, and I've never done a course, so completely self-taught.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at maths, but I'm brilliant with percentages.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that what I can do without that I was not good at maths. So everything is possible.
Yeah.
Everything is possible. You just might need to find a different way of working, that's all.
Do you think the school system's a bit flawed? Because I do.
I think, I think there is. And I think what it is you're putting everyone in one box.
Yeah.
And we ain't all in one box. I'm certainly not.
No.
I've got severe ADHD. I'm all over the place. I'm probably semi-dyslexic. I'm not good at spelling.
We're all on the spectrum in our house.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not on all of that. And I was good at maths, but I think that there's a lot to be said for common sense in business and work.
100% agree with you.
I think you can have someone out of university with, and I've had people work for me out of Oxford, Cambridge with first degrees and got fucking clue. Can't do nothing because they can't functionally data. Unless they're going to be a lawyer, like your lawyer or doctor, it's different. But it's in business, sales or whatever.
Yeah.
It's more common sense and people skills that will get you further.
Yeah.
And don't, you know.
Yeah, they probably need to overhaul, I think
there's
is
a
what
good
he's
thing
saying.
about being taught, no, don't be a cunt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Don't use the C word.
That is the best way of doing it.
We love the C word.
Yeah, that is the way to do it. That's how I put it to people. Don't be a cunt. Like, if you're wrong, say sorry. And if you can do something right for people, try and do what you say.
Yeah.
And you will get somewhere in life. But I think with schools, you don't.
They
you know,
could tailor
there might be,
courses differently.
Like
now.
if you learn people now, the kids that were good at IT but not good at this, to be programmers. That's a huge industry there in programming. Huge money that will give those kids opportunities and jobs that are paying 6 figures a year from the start.
Yeah.
You know, creating apps or whatever, or finding what that child needs.
Yeah.
You know,
It's true.
it isn't all college and university for people. I left school at 16.
But I think even the
she left school at 15.
I think even the courses, I mean, I didn't even take a exam, but I do not saying that. It's funny, I found my school report. I don't know why I've not got anything from where I've moved around so much, but randomly I found this school report, and it was really funny. Although what it did say, and it was actually quite true in the end, it said that to hold my attention was quite difficult, which I would say is correct.
Yeah.
I got bored quite easily unless I was really interested. But again, maybe I'm a bit on the spectrum. We've talked about this. Then I over-focused. But it actually did say that they thought that I would do well eventually. But it did also say that I was going to be a very good scientist.
Really?
So maybe I'm going to be in the future.
Maybe when you get to
to
space, you know,
maybe,
you might.
New job.
She might not come back.
Dr. Sealey, yeah. But yeah, look, I don't know. I think that the whole system could have a huge overhaul and just be set up so differently.
Do you know what? I'm like you though. Like when I was in school, if I wasn't interested in it, I just couldn't hold my attention to it at all.
But who wants to do something they're not interested in?
This is what I'm saying. Is that normal, or is that just?
But equally, I mean, like we were talking about jobs that you've done. I've done like every million, and I don't mean in putting anything down. No. I've done so many jobs that I didn't want to do.
Yeah.
But I did always complete them. I'd never stayed doing them
You
forever.
had to work to eat though.
Yeah. So
from a young age, that was a great. In some other respects, that was a great upbringing in a different way for her. Now I always say it to people about her. I'm amazed at the level she is, considering how hard she had it young.
Yeah.
Where I had it good young and I was a mess. She had it hard, and it's like she's very level.
That's over in you, though, isn't it?
Yes, I think it is.
I think that's part of your genes.
It's character building as well, though, isn't it?
But I was saying, we were talking about like this. I was saying it the wrong way around. Fans only fans.
Fans only.
I don't know. I feel like I must need to
It's
start.
big money. It's a £1 billion industry.
We've watched. I've been watching the Olivia.
Jay does it.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, do you? Okay. No.
Fucking don't. Don't listen to him. Not to.
No, but
I saw someone I know on it today, though, advertising
why
today.
are you on
I was
it?
quite
Why are you
surprised.
on it?
No, not me. No, on social media.
Yeah. But no, what I was saying is we've been talking about the fact that, you know, I actually am really, really non-judgmental. You do what you want to do.
Yeah.
No problem about that. And I was saying, when I was 15 and I had no money, I was offered to do page 3.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they knew I was 15, but at that
have got
point.
good tits.
And also some other could have easily slipped into that industry quite easily.
Oh, she didn't do it?
No, didn't do it. No, there's no
There's
pictures.
don't Google it. Don't Google it. I've Googled it.
Yeah. But it was someone that was
Send me a
doing,
DM, 100 quid, I'll send you a picture.
Stop it. It was like when Samantha Fox, so it was big then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So it could have been really easily. And my stepmum at the time said that she thought maybe it was a good idea because I had no qualifications. I mean, like, really?
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit crazy. So what I'm saying is I went and cleaned, I worked in a bar, I did all jobs.
Donut factory.
I worked, I did all those jobs. I lived in a bedsit. So what I would say is now they've glamorised basically what in effect is you are selling yourself.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable to sell yourself, and I would say there's probably 1% that actually can live with it, the rest I think have a lot of problems.
Yeah.
What my worry is that the young people today, whether it male or female, that stays with you forever.
Yeah.
Are they going to be equipped? You know, there are drugs involved. There are, you know, at the end of the day, you're selling sex. So whether you're, just say, you know, if it's prostitution, if people are actually having sex on camera, it's no different to back in the day when it was porn.
Yeah.
Like if you would just say it was,
yeah.
or whether you were prostitute, you know, the girls that are going out to Dubai, but they're getting paid by accommodation and handbags and stuff. It's prostitution. I don't have a problem with it if you're good with it.
Yeah.
But most people that I speak to that are potentially and have done being around and out, and they've got issues.
Yeah.
So my worry is for them going forward.
Yeah.
But you do have a choice.
But
They say, oh no, it's big money now, isn't it?
But you could say the other way, that it's stopping people being on the streets, they're doing it via video.
Oh no. So I'm saying,
So there is, if you're going to do it, they could be standing on street corners, or they could be shaking their ass in front of a camera.
Do you think that some of these girls would be doing that? Like, if
I
it's
don't
the
know.
fact that the options
Probably
there
not,
for
not
the
as
money.
many. Not as many.
No, but like I think it's like
they might do escorting because that was always the thing, wasn't it?
I think that.
They was out covert.
I don't think people would have done this a few years ago before all this.
No,
It's
they've
like,
glamorised it.
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like they've made OnlyFans like.
Yeah.
I mean, and because so many people do now, other girls
normal.
are going, well, she does it,
But
she does it.
I think.
But it's your body to do what you wish with.
I think.
I will say that.
I mean, my favourite platform is TikTok. I love TikTok.
Wonder what you
right?
were going to say there.
But TikTok advertises it massively.
Yeah.
Really?
I think TikTok glamorises OnlyFans usually. Half the TikTokers are OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
And you can literally
And
on
boys,
TikTok you
'cause
can.
it's not just girls.
No, but the boys don't seem to advertise as much as the girls, talking about it or showing. They call themselves accountants. Half the videos on there are it, and I think they're seeing lifestyles. People are seeing lifestyles on there and they think I can do that
Via OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I can get that
100%.
lifestyle because this
But
girl's
like,
got it.
Like what you're saying is like, people are living in the now, which is cool.
Yeah.
But in 10 years' time, when this maybe passes, that's there forever.
Yeah.
And you could be living in a different time and going, fucking hell, I wish I hadn't got that.
Because when they come off of them, I have
You
spoken.
got to pay the £8 a month to see it.
no.
Though. It ain't free.
But what I'm saying is, I have spoken to girls that I know that do it.
Oh, did you know?
Yeah. Well, when we were in Dubai, I spoke to a few girls that were doing it.
Oh yeah, the birth of love.
I'm just saying. What I don't want to say anyway. What I'm saying is,
I'd say if I could think of a no.
talking about the mental side of it
advertising,
that they have had.
Yeah.
And it does exist. And it's no different. And actually it is no different other than it looks glamorous, doesn't it? So girls that are at uni and they want to earn an extra bit of money, they might think twice about going and sign up to the local brothel. but they might not do the OnlyFans, or they might meet up and go on holiday to Dubai and meet a guy there. Look, listen, I'm not saying they're wrong, but I just worry that in the future it'll come crashing down on them.
This is the whole thing I've got with it. It's like, if you do what you want to do, but I think a lot of people get involved in it and they're not thinking enough about it.
I agree.
They're not thinking about the long term of it and how it affects their lifestyle afterwards. I mean, they're buying into the, I can live it, I can be in Dubai and I can have these handbags and have all this material lifestyle.
Yeah. But they're unhappy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen the stat, but you can guarantee that the suicide rate in that industry is higher than
drugs.
average.
And I think it'll go up over the next few years because...
I agree.
So as having, we're really lucky. I would say we are incredibly lucky, especially with the girls. We've got 2 daughters that are not that interested in...
They won't film.
They don't film that much. Not, and I wouldn't push them.
No.
And actually,
we give them the choice, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, they've done a little bit, and they could probably do a little bit more out of it, but, they don't... But they could easily get sucked in. I see a lot of other people that are in the industry that have got young children and they're pushing them forward. To what are you pushing them into? It's quite a scary world, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is, especially like from these girls who are young, like 18 to like 28, I'd say roughly now. All these people who are getting involved in it. Love Island, I've gone about this a lot, but this is a prime example. A lot of people get into it. They've got normal jobs. They see the glamorous lifestyle, like you were saying, the lifestyle that comes with it. Yeah. They get involved in it. Afterwards, the fame, the money, they've got like a year before the next one comes out and they're cast aside. And I think the ones that, if you don't make it in that year, doing some other career off the back of it,
what you have done,
what do you do then? And that's where I think they're all suffering now, because they've gone from having a high value to a really low.
It's really hard to go back into normal work.
Yeah. Our middle daughter, she said like loads of her friends, they're all like model, a lot of them, they're in fashion and stuff, loads of her friends. And she said a few of them have been like, nearly tempted. But then, because they're quite intelligent girls, they've sat there and they've worked out and they thought, actually, in the long term, is it going to be worth it?
I think we both play celebrity soccer, don't we? Sometimes you play some of those boys are not only fans boys, Love Island boys, and one in particular, he won't mind me saying, is Jake Cornish.
Yeah.
I've become friends with him.
Yeah.
And we've been having that conversation. Now, he understood I've only got that year. Now, we've just launched the furniture business, the Rattan Man, that I'm doing with him.
Yeah.
He's in front of it. It's his business, but I'm helping him with it.
Yeah.
Because you need to use your social media platform to grow a business quickly, because the Instagram posts you're getting every month, which might be worth 10, 20 grand, will go.
Yeah.
They're gone now. The new lot are out.
Yeah.
So you better build something in that year you've got, because it's really hard. I think they do suffer more when younger. I think some of the people on the Towie that we know, when they get off of it, getting huge decks, not really paid to be on it, and then they've got to go and work, and they can't.
Yeah.
Well,
so I said to Jake, look, you've got a massive platform. Let's create a business. What do you like?
Yeah. It's investing that money.
Yeah. I think they're 2 separate things. I mean, the girl thing is like, and the boys and their mental health. But look, hopefully, listen, good luck to anyone that's having a go and working hard at anything, because let me tell you,
live your dream.
I hate doing I'm not very good. And I find it really, really time consuming to sit there doing the editing, doing the pictures.
You hate it,
I don't take a lot of work like that, because I just don't have the time. And some of these girls that are doing these OnlyFans things spend like hours. I mean, the effort, if they put that effort into becoming lawyers, I mean, they'd be smashing it.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, I started this podcast out of my studio 3 years ago, and I was editing or filming all myself. And it, like with tattooing, like I just didn't have the time. It was a nightmare. And then I realised my tattooing was suffering because I was trying to do too many things at the same time. So I cut back on this, and then lockdown happened anyway. And it's only when I met Jacob that he was like, I'll do all that for you. Yeah. And then, I mean, this is so much easier for me to do now. But my other business, my tattooing, started like taking a bit of a back step because I was trying to make this work.
But that can be a business
I'm
situation.
Guilty of that. I get involved in lots of things.
Yeah.
Some work, some don't.
Yeah.
I will always get involved. And I can sometimes be like, I'm doing this 1 minute, I'm doing that the next minute, I'm doing that phone call, I'm doing this. And I'm not really doing anything properly. And none of them are getting finished.
Yeah, I like to start and finish everything.
Yeah, you'll finish everything.
Yeah, because I want everything to work.
Yeah.
Doesn't always. I say that to people. Most things have. There's been a couple of things over the years. But what I think I'm really good at, Joe will tell you, is that if I know in my heart, and I think this is good business advice, if you know inside this is not going to work, right? It probably isn't going to. You have to cull it.
I invested in a restaurant once,
which I didn't want to do.
No,
and I did it. It's about 5 years ago. Tell it. Go on. T. Martin won it. Go on.
He went.
He lost 90 grand in 7 months. Go on.
Yeah, and
he lost 90 grand.
Yeah, quick.
There's different reasons.
I didn't do my due diligence on the person.
Yeah.
I just wanted the business because I owned gyms at that point, and I wanted health restaurants in the gyms.
Yeah.
So I did it without checking. We got rid of him within a couple of weeks.
Yeah, because it became apparent that they weren't what they said.
Couldn't cook.
Yeah, basically,
He was meant to be a chef.
Wasn't a chef.
It was bad. Terrible
anyway,
by me, terrible.
But Joe went away one week, and when he come back, I'd cleared
She
the whole
shut it.
place. I closed it,
Kitchen was gone.
relocated it,
Cleaned the building
gone,
out of everything.
Really?
I re-rented the building. I repositioned what
Sure,
we
it's best
had
thing for you.
into
She was
the
right.
gyms. And don't be scared. He was like, "Oh, what will people think?" I don't
Not
care.
people think it's bad for the brand, but
Yeah.
actually it was better. I don't care what people think, but it's better for the brand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think hearing this from you two, like obviously you two are so successful and people watching it, I think a lot of people look at you two to get where you've got and think that everything just goes perfect.
Nah.
It doesn't. To hear that you lost, invest this, I fucked it up, got it wrong.
Bit of a couple
I think
there.
that's what they need to hear because I think people are scared of what other people will think.
Yeah, I tell you what happens.
are,
I tell you what happens with investing. If you invest just whatever money into a percentage of a business and that person that you're investing in, you trust them, you let them run it.
Yeah.
In any industry, and you like the person, the numbers work. That's okay. If like the restaurant, when I decided I was going to get involved and bring it into my business, and I knew nothing about food or anything, was a massive mistake. I didn't research it enough. I didn't do my due diligence on the people. I didn't do any of that. And that taught me that, not everything can be rosy because you know how to sell stuff or grow
he was really
businesses.
against stopping.
Yeah.
He wanted to carry on.
It was
I
an
was like,
horrendous business for us because I knew nothing about
We
it.
were
But
only
did
going
you
to lose
want
more.
to keep
study
it
it.
going out of just like, I didn't want
Yeah.
this to fail?
Yeah, what I shouldn't have done, what I did was I put it under the gym's brand.
Yeah.
So we had a gym group called Neon, and I put Neon health bars in.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have called it that. I should have had it under a secondary name.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't have mattered.
I don't
But
even
it didn't
think that-
actually,
I don't-
when it went, it didn't make no difference to the
Yeah, it
business.
made no
actually.
difference to
But
the business.
I think going forward, I learned that if you're going to invest, you invest in the people
Yeah.
on the smaller percentages and let them run their business and hope to get an X when they exit or a return every year on dividends, not run it.
Listen, don't be scared.
Nicole likes to run everything.
I don't actually believe that
We work well together.
I don't believe that anyone actually fails. I just think it's part of it. If
Yes.
something goes wrong,
Yeah.
I don't actually think that I failed. I
Food's
just think it's
difficult.
part of
Yeah.
the journey to get to where you're supposed
You
to.
learn, don't you?
Yeah, like failures.
Nothing is easy.
No.
People look on the outside and they'll think tattooing, doing this is
Whatever.
easy. It's not.
No.
It's taking you years to sit here.
Yeah.
I mean,
of our
we're
work,
hitting
yeah,
now.
and
We're
growth.
saying. I was talking. We've just been
It
chatting.
don't just happen.
No, it doesn't,
Even
it's
my
true.
industry, 28 years I've been doing it,
Yeah.
but like I've been through recessions, etc. I mean, at the moment with the strikes, even that's impacted me because we get a lot of jobs cancelled, but everyone still needs paying.
Yeah.
So it has an impact. There's all different things. When you run a business, nothing is smooth. But yeah, don't be afraid to change direction
No.
or cut your losses because
Yeah.
that's really important. Better to lose 90 than 190.
Yeah, it would have kept going. It would have kept going.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could have been worse, really, I suppose.
Yeah.
couldn't you?
Yeah.
But lucky it's got me. It's fine.
I am lucky I've got you. I've say it to everyone. We work in very different ways that together works really well.
Yeah.
Because I think without
You're good at chatting and
I'm good at
it's
I think
fun.
you're such a good balance.
We are,
you're
'cause I
such
wouldn't-
different characters.
I don't do spreadsheets or any of that stuff that you need to do.
Basically,
Yeah.
what he's saying is I do the hard work and
She
he does
all
the
that
chat.
bit. But actually, I've got a partner. I do invest with this other
Yeah.
guy. I call him my daytime wife, Phil. Phil the cupcake. He's a bit like her. So he'll do spreadsheets all day. And I'm like, well, bring the person in. Let's meet him. The investment's good and I like the person. You tell me. I say to her, we looked at one 2 days ago. And I said, I like him.
Yeah.
I like the project. I like the product in this CBD company. But you've got to tell me if
it works.
this contract and this
Yeah.
spreadsheet works. I don't want to see it. Don't send it to me.
Yeah.
So don't email me it. Say to people, do not email me. I don't like email. So send it to her. If she tells me it's go, we're doing the money.
Joe's a good networker and that is important. And people like you.
Yeah.
You're a good people's person.
Yeah.
You're good at putting, and that is part of business as well.
100%.
I mean, I happen to be good at all of it, but it's fine.
You're not. You ain't that good a people person.
But
You're right.
day to day, I mean, in the early days, obviously I've done all parts
You're
of
not a
business.
team player.
But
You're not.
what do you mean?
You're not. No, you're more of a.
I don't need to be in the team.
That's why I call
I'm
you the Fiora. I
boss.
call her the Fiora.
Can't say
I
that.
can say the Fiora.
I'm not sure you
That's
can.
what I call
I'm
her.
not sure you
She's
can.
that kind of mentality.
But yeah, so I do. I mean, obviously, I've done all, and I think that if you've done all aspects of what you do
We
for
work
a
well
living,
together.
but we do. You look, listen. I like you. Can be the good
Not
guy.
in all industries. I would say, she says, why don't you help me like in Row? I say, listen, that's not an industry I can help you in. I
'Cause
picked
you
a bit of
can't
work
bull-
up.
you can't
I picked you some
bullshit.
work up this week, actually. It's not bullshit. I picked you some work up this week. Didn't I? 400 grams worth of work. But that's not the point. But people that work in that industry are not getting, I'm not smoozing Derek, who's worked on a rail for 30 years, who goes out and chucking it out.
His
He
chit-chat
ain't
don't
interested
work.
in it.
He don't
He
care.
ain't interested in it. He don't want to come to football with me or whatever. He
Yeah.
don't want to buy what I'm selling. But it's a different type of industry. It's
Yeah.
it's a very, you know.
Yeah. No, you are good. Look, listen, it works. It works.
It's not
for us,
sales
doesn't it?
industry. Sales industry, I can sell anything.
Yeah. So I do think. Yeah, we're
Not
but
to
we
you.
do, but we equally do like a lot of the same things, which is useful.
Yeah. How did you meet?
I met her in a nightclub.
How did you?
On a Thursday. So when I was...
Thursday.
I mean, Thursday, that's back in the day, because they
it was
were Thursday.
in
night.
Essex.
That's a student night, isn't it?
in a place called 195 that was opening up, and it's just reopened. So I was such a twat in my 20s. I really was. So I used to...
He was, yeah.
I won't queue
He still
at
is
bars,
a bit.
right? So I used to walk to the front of the bar and say to whoever's at the front, let me order my drinks and I'll buy your drinks. Like, this makes me cringe.
I mean, it's a good shout.
Makes me cringe.
Get you in the front of the
I was
queue.
So I
like,
went to the
nah.
front. She went,
you were
nah.
there?
She said, nah. Like, so I thought, that's the first person ever that said no to me. Like, no. Like, so I was like, come on, have a drink with me, have a drink with me, have a drink with me. And that was it, really.
And then I was like, look, listen.
Persistent.
Yeah,
Moved
listen,
in together
buy
3 weeks later.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Put the Christmas tree up.
Put the Christmas tree, I never went home. Christmas Day, I never left. The Christmas Eve, I didn't think I went home off Christmas
I
Eve.
think, you come put the Christmas tree up, come around Christmas Eve, and then you never left.
Yeah, I never left.
Yeah.
Christmas night, I think.
Asked me to marry him every Sunday.
I knew she was, I knew when I
I
met
got
her.
drunk once and said yes.
Yeah, I knew that she was. So you belittle me, but
I'm still here. I'm still here, 17 years later.
I knew early that I was marrying her.
Really?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah?
I say it to everyone. She's my best friend. So we get on really well. We spend probably 95% of our time together as well. Don't
Yeah,
we?
we talk about this as well.
We're
Like,
quite boring. We're sitting dogs
Yeah.
watching telly
we
most of the
are
time.
quite boring.
With
But
the dogs, like
yeah,
people
in fact,
see you on these shows and think you're really doing everywhere.
we do travel.
We have a nice
That's
life,
my
yeah.
favourite.
We like
thing.
travelling.
I love
Yeah.
to travel. Even when I had no money, I found a way to travel.
Really?
Like it is my thing. I love to sort of explore.
You know, when you got on the show, you didn't go, were you on it straight away, were you?
Yeah.
Oh, you were on it straight away?
Yeah, so what happened was they was asking her for quite a few years. She's very private.
Yeah.
I've always been.
They'd asked me since
I've always
episode-
been how I am. So
Do you think that's though because your dad was who he was and that you've been used to the people knowing who
yeah,
your family are and stuff?
My brother's different to me. I mean, he's very shy, but I have never been. I've been always quite outgoing and flamboyant in a way, type of persona.
Loves
I'm
a bit of
lad.
attention.
I'm lad. So, but what was happening was, so she kept saying, "No, I'm not fucking doing that. I'm not talking about it." Anyway, I was at the time. I was buying Macclesfield Town Football Club, and I thought on this week, this is happening. Like this deal's been going on for 3 months, and we're at the point where this deal's going to go through. They were talking to her, and I said, "Listen, I need you on that show because the marketing and the ticket sales on that from that show for that football club is massive,
Yeah.
and it's right where it is. So you need to do the show because I'm buying this football club." My deal fell through. A couple of weeks later, he didn't send me the accounts and details, and in the end, the club went bust. And she was already on the show, and that was it. That's how it happened.
Oh my God.
That's why I was like, got to do it. You got to do it. I need the exposure levels for the football club.
They'd asked me in their second year.
Yeah, they'd been
when we
asking for a
first
long
moved up.
time.
So it would have been a different journey then, wouldn't it? If I'd joined like at the beginning, because it would have. I think it was season 4 was the second year. First time they asked me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I couldn't. I mean, I didn't watch reality TV. I just thought awful TV.
She's quite private.
And I was like, why would you want to like go on telly? And I also worried about how it would be perceived. By the time I did it, made the decision, I thought, well, do I really have anything to prove? I know I'm good at what I do.
Yeah.
If people want to judge me, I mean, it does. Listen, I didn't even like having my picture taken, so it's been very cathartic.
I said that to you. If
From
you
that-
die, the kids have got
yeah.
no pictures of you.
Yeah, it was a little bit of
Yeah.
a standing joke. So from that point of view, it's been really good, and you try and take all the positives out of it. And
Yeah.
if it finishes tomorrow, then it finishes tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've had a good journey, good and bad. Sometimes you sit there and you see sides of yourself that you prefer that you weren't sharing with the world. But you know, if you're going to do it, I'm an all-in person.
Yeah.
So warts and all.
Yeah.
And probably what I have the most, and I won't say it to anyone specific, but you'll know in industry that there are certain people that will manipulate the scenario to be perceived in a certain way.
Yeah.
Is the thing I struggle most with.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's fake crap.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's fake, it's that people want to be perceived in a certain way.
Yeah.
Whereas unfortunately for me, everyone gets to see
Yeah,
all sides of how I really am. But I mean, obviously,
You are
it's
honest
cut.
yourself, I'll give you
I
that.
am honest, and I think when I watch back this season that's going to air,
Well, I watch you like that sometimes.
Joking.
She's saying things. I'm like, I can't believe she's saying that.
but I think I'm consistently. I don't think I deviate.
No.
Look, listen, obviously it's cut. I don't think I'm as big as bitch as I look. But
You are.
I'm not. I just think I'm really.
You are.
I think I'm just really honest, but that can come across as being a bitch.
To be honest, I just think though, if you're real on TV, that's what people want to see when they meet you in real life.
Yeah.
At least they know what they're getting with. A lot of people see they have like the heroes on TV and they meet them and they're disappointed.
Yeah.
At least they know what they're getting.
Yeah, I
So
do
if they
think
like
we
you,
are.
they
where we
really
are.
like you. They must
I
really
mean, quite
like
I
you.
do think I think I am how I am. Do you not?
Yeah.
I think you are.
Yeah, you are.
100%.
Quite often people will go to me.
I think
I'm
you are.
naked.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
naked
you
on
both
this one.
are.
I'm naked on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His arse is out.
I don't feel like I'm surprised.
Yeah. They said, will you lay on the bed with this cheesy Malta?
Yeah,
Surprised
don't
me more
give
with
it
this
all
flag.
away. Don't give it all
With
away.
the flag around. I went, yeah. I said, tell you what I do. I'll walk out to the balcony and I'll drop it.
That's a treat for the
You
nation.
love it, don't you?
Yeah, I love it. I can't help it, right? People say, I say, I love it. I
Bit thirsty,
listen, for
goes,
me,
yeah.
listen to me. For me, and it's different because I've got another life, work life. For me, it's fun.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have to do the bits the women do. I say this to everyone. They've got to argue. They've got to do all that shit. I don't get involved in that. That's the women's bit. I turn up. I have a laugh. I enjoy it. It gives me great enjoyment. I get to do things like this and meet people like you. I get to play in the football. I love it.
Yeah.
I would do it for nothing.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I love it.
That's good though, isn't it?
It's fun. But it's not
if
my
you love
life.
it, what's the problem?
It's not my career. If it was my career, don't get me
don't
wrong,
know.
I'd love to have a career in it now properly. But
Yeah.
if I don't, so what? I've had a great time. And I also think when we're doing it, if they ask us to do something, sometimes I think, oh, and I think, well, I'll regret it in 5 years' time if I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And I think, yeah, I will. So do it.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I've ever said no.
I bet you're a producer's like dream.
Oh, I don't
you
say
are.
no. I say, all right.
They
Yeah,
must
I'd
love it.
I'm always on time. When they're all fucking about arguing, they say, we need to be over here. I'll go over there. And I tell them all, shut up and get over. And they love it. Get done. They want to get home. They want to get home. Like,
How do you find the drama on there? Like, and for people at home, like, how much of it is real? Like,
real.
Oh no, it's
all
real.
real.
Yeah.
But you don't see all of it. I mean,
yeah.
some of it actually that doesn't
Do you
get
find
shown.
it hard, like being involved in all that? Because I suppose if
I've
before
had
it,
I've had a pretty full on season this season.
really.
it's our own
But
fault.
I also that's not my own fault.
fault.
But I also can't help that if someone's going to come at me, equally need to respond.
But you know, before you said like you got on it, like you're quite a private person. Like, do you feel like because now you've been doing it for a few seasons, do you feel like you almost getting sucked into the drama?
No, because
now,
I don't
isn't it?
even notice the cameras are there.
No, she's got better. First day we filmed, right? I'm sitting on the sofa. I'm watching her do it. And she's awkward as fuck. She goes to walk out the room and smashes into the wall. And all sorts. I couldn't stop laughing. I was going, "You're terrible at this." She's
She's in the corner going, "You're terrible, you're
looking at
terrible."
the camera and all that. But now,
No, I don't even see the camera.
She's true to herself. What I'd say is not bringing it home. What will happen sometime if Nicole. And I think this is a credit to her. If Nicole's falling out of you on the show, she's falling out of you in life.
Yeah.
Right? There are some.
Well, there's levels.
There's levels. And some will
that
say,
we're
look,
doing
I've got to do
some
something
things
for telly,
and
but I'm all right with you off. She'll go, fuck off now.
Really?
I ain't having it, no. So like it is reality, isn't it? It is
I mean,
real.
look,
They don't
listen.
tell you, there's no script.
No.
There's none of that. We might get told, turn up at this venue, talk about what you want.
I think this has been a much more natural
Yeah,
because of COVID.
they're filming like an American
think,
style now.
Yeah, I think as well people like when they go, it was looking a bit more staged. It's really because of COVID, because we had so many restrictions, and I give credit to Monkey that they got a show out in COVID. It was
Unbelievable
difficult. I mean, the way we'd have to stand was like you're talking, but you've got to stand, and we had to follow American NBC rules as well as the English rules.
Yeah.
So we were covering both. So they did
It was
incredibly well.
difficult.
So I think this season is much more natural. But I do listen because I do speak up. I only say what everyone else is thinking, and that's probably the problem.
Yeah.
So sometimes I wish what they were bitching about they bring to the table and actually own that they're saying it. Whereas I say it. So
Yeah.
and I say, look, I'm just saying what you're all actually saying away from the camera, or just speak up. You don't, and obviously that doesn't always go down well.
I just find it amazing that some people say stuff on camera, then they deny they said it when it's on camera.
Yeah.
We've had that this way, Nicole.
Yeah, if we watch the reunion, yeah. But if they cut it that way, that's kind of because
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
bit of that's true. So I think that's where it
Oh, she
deviates.
hangs on as well. Like,
Like,
hangs
yeah.
on like a cat on a ledge. She does to me.
I'm gonna get it.
Oh, she can't
No,
leave it.
I just don't like it. Look, listen, when it's cut, we might unintentionally think, oh, did I quite say it in that way?
Yeah.
But if you blatantly lie, I can't bear lying.
No.
So listen, I'm sure we've all said if we've had a drink or whatever, might have said something, we 100% what we said there. That's one thing, but to completely deny something and stand there and lie, I cannot bear.
Especially when it's on camera.
Yeah, but some of them don't like. And look, listen, some people will be cut more softly than others, I'm sure. So I will say no more. But, they should just be grateful. Not mentioning any
hell.
names.
Fucking hell, you're a nightmare.
But I can take it,
You're
so
a
it's fine.
nightmare. That's a proper dick. That's a dick.
It's fine. I've got.
I can't believe you. I can't believe.
Is the reunion done?
Yeah.
Oh well.
It got done yesterday. It's not until it's August though.
Can we refilm the reunion?
They're actually, the TX date will drop next week. So they'll next Wednesday.
We're doing a menopause show on this week.
Yeah, menopause show. I don't know obviously when this goes out, but menopause show's on next week. And that's actually the reason I went back, because I actually had kind of felt, had I hit a point where I had nothing else left to give, and actually, you do feel a bit burnt out.
Yeah.
And I was like, we were away, we'd had quite a break, and I was like, I'm not sure I do want to go back. And it wasn't one of those, I don't want to go back. I was actually thought, have I given enough? Do I want to do it again? And then they came up with they were going to do the menopause show, and obviously we'd talked a lot, obviously through TikTok, and I was going through it, and they went, will you at least meet the producer? And I met her, and I was, really excited to do something else, and it was something that I felt should be spoken about. And they kind of, well, you need to come back on Housewives if you want to do that. So it was...
Yeah.
I think you say that, but I think you like it.
No, listen, and I wouldn't knock the show because, it's given me a great experience.
Yeah.
But look,
they are a great team. Really. Yeah. Because when we got asked to do it, and I've never done any telly like that, I was expecting like Derek Trotter, like two geezers with like camcorders follow you around.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's like 4 teams. It's like professional.
It's mad,
like they're spending millions on stuff, and I didn't think it was going to be like, I was so surprised when we first got involved, and it's just improved, I think, recently.
Yeah, so I think people...
This season's the best season I've seen.
Joe reckons, and there is obviously a dinner party, Joe reckons it is American-style Housewives dinner party.
It was amazing.
First time, and he watches a few of them. He was like, because obviously he wasn't there, he was like, we can't give too much away.
Brilliant.
But he said it was... probably of Cheshire.
Best episode I've seen.
Best episode.
And which one's the reunion?
No,
this is dinner party. It's always dinner party. What they've done different this year is they've gone to like the American style of format in a filming, where before it was a bit more stand around that table and talk about whatever you want.
Just following you.
Now follow you. So if you're not ready, they're filming you. If you walk past your crew are in it. If you're fucking arguing over it,
there's a balance.
Yeah,
and it's better.
Okay.
It's better.
That's good.
But Joe thoroughly
I bet
enjoyed.
that is good.
It is better. So some at this dinner party, and people are up and down, people are cutting each other. It's brilliant.
Really?
Yeah. I was waiting for someone to throw something or flip a table. I was like,
I think the frustration is if something spills outside of filming, which it has this season. I'm not going to say too much. Everyone knows what I mean. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together, but that always can't be quite shown.
I'm not doing these things with her no more.
Can't always be quite shown, so I'll get a bit frustrated. Yeah, because I'm obviously usually right.
She's a producer. I'm a producer's dream. She's the producer night.
Oh yeah,
I'd be a great. producer.
She rings them.
Really?
She rings them. Does it? Some of the things I've heard about. I'm thinking. I keep saying to her as well, because we used to be in charge. Said like Nick, like there's the extras and that, which is like me, because the men don't get paid. By the way, any other TV programs that want me, I'm available. I'm not under contract.
We're here. And funerals.
Then it's the Housewives. Then it's like the teams. ITV, NBC, you're at the bottom. See, the first time in her life, she's not in charge. So I don't think you get to grips with that, do you? She rings up the boss.
No, I don't.
That needs to do it. You're doing
it.
No,
I don't. Do you know what? I'm actually...
I want to go away for 3 days.
No.
You meant to be filming.
Joe, no, that's not true. They all say that I'm actually... Because I'm always prompt. I'm very professional.
All right there, darling.
But I expect everyone else to be the same.
She hit me, did she?
No. I didn't. What I'm saying
that's
is...
on camera.
I think that...
Stop
it. I just think that everyone should be as professional as I am. That's where the problem is. So, and if they're not, then I get a little bit out of my pram. That's all. But I'm all good. So
I understand that. Like, if
I am a professional person.
Treat people how you expect to be treated yourself, right?
You sound like David Britton. I am a professional person.
No, listen. I'm not always. Stop it.
You make me laugh so much.
Came out of the band.
You make me laugh so much.
I'm not always easy. I'm just always right.
Yeah.
No, you know that's true as well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
So, do you know what's easy? I think you'll agree with this. If you are...
You will agree.
No.
I'm actually saying you will agree with it.
That's she words everything. She has this way, even at work, everyone says it at work. You get people to do things like she asks you a question, but there's no answer to the question. It's like, it's a question she asks you, but by telling you, you are going to Ipswich. I don't know how she does it. I hear her on the phone of it. How she got him to go from like Middlesbrough to Ipswich in an hour?
No,
I'll be at Ipswich later. I'll be like, why am I here?
She's like, it ain't that far. It ain't that far.
No, but what I would say is, what I would say is, look, if you are honest and you tell the truth, then I think that'll carry you through. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I'm not always right, just mostly.
No, what I'll give to you and I credit is you do what you believe in.
But
rightly or wrongly,
yeah,
you do.
I believe what I say.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? But if I'm wrong, and if I've gone over the top, not even wrong, I think with filming, if I've gone a little bit too far, and you'll probably see this by the time we get to reunion, if I think I've maybe overstepped a little bit, I'll rein it back. But it's like that, look, if you come into filming and you're tired, irritable, and there were certain times where that is, and you're getting poked continually, at some point you probably might snap.
Well, I think sometimes they're designed a bit to make you that way, aren't they?
It's still real life.
What what's a good trick to do in Nicole is, and it worked a lot for the first couple of seasons, when you arrive at wherever, they put her in a room by herself.
For a long time.
Away from everyone while everyone else is doing stuff. And it's like...
That was only the first season. I struggled with that.
Poke the bear.
I couldn't do all that.
Yeah, you sit in the room, separate her from everyone.
But not anymore. And I don't let certain things stress me out.
No. You've got used to stuff as well.
Yeah.
You get used to
I've never done anything like it before.
No.
So, but yeah.
I think in
yes, you have. You've always made movies.
I've always made movies.
In our bedroom. Backlog for OnlyFans.
Don't try and get your own Tom and Pammy.
What's that?
Tom and
Tom and Pam on Paramount, Amazon.
You're trying to get yourself an Amazon deal.
I watched that show.
Or a Paramount deal.
All deals are available. I'm out of contract. I don't have a contract. I'll do anything.
I don't think anyone would see my bum bobbing about. Certainly not my children.
It's hard in those scenarios where you're being put in situations like that, because I remember a few years ago I had management. At the time, they were trying to ask me to do Celebrity Big Brother, and I was like, I'm not doing that show. I couldn't do that.
You would now, though, wouldn't you?
No.
The new one's coming out, isn't it?
No,
I thought you were going to say you were on
I'd
it.
never do it.
Would you not?
Never.
No.
Never.
I
could not be locked up in a house like that.
No, if you was hungry.
It's a mix of people you don't know, innit?
Yeah, and I think that is like a pressure cooker.
Character.
And I would explode.
I
just think, I don't want to
See,
do
I always
it.
thought them kind of things, I'll win them.
Yeah, but
I'm a good team player.
Not if you was hungry.
Yeah, I think you'd be good.
I'd be a good team player.
Would you do it?
Yeah, fucking would I, yeah. Straight.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Hey, get on him.
ITV.
You'll do it. ITV, they'll be straight on you for
I did,
that.
to be fair,
Surely.
a couple of years ago, I did get a first interview for The Jungle, right? Someone ran me about The Jungle. But they said it'd be a wild card, because I was thinking, like, no one fucking knows me. Do you know what I mean? But they said, you'll be a good wild card. I'm not...
They don't like reality TV stars, do they?
But I don't think I could do the eating, so I could eat anything.
Oh,
I
right.
can eat anything.
You could do
Well,
that.
I'd be terrible in the jungle.
How about you? Would you be all right with snakes and rats? And
Yeah,
that?
that'd be
No,
all
I
right.
wouldn't.
She's terrified of rats. So like, I pause the telly for rats on, she screams.
I can't even watch
terrified.
Ratatouille on the
I'd
telly.
be all right with that. I don't think I'd be...
Ratatouille's a cartoon.
The great...
can't
I don't know
watch
about
it,
snakes. I don't like snakes.
No.
I don't...
Yeah, could you be like lying in a coffin with snakes?
I think... The thing is with me, if I know at the end of it we're getting more food, I'd do it.
If food's
If you're
involved.
starving, you'll do a lot
I'd do
of
it.
things.
I would, because also it's a team thing. So I see it as if I don't do it, I'm letting them all down. But the people that would annoy me are the people that give up. You know, the one starers, that would
The only thing is,
that would get me. If they tried and they can't do it, fine. But when
I'm
they
good
get
with
when they
heights
pull
and
out of it,
stuff.
nah.
I'd be all right with the height
But I ain't going to
stuff.
get on it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
I think it'd be nothing worse if you were sat there starving and someone comes
that
back and
one's
go, how
hard.
much you get? Go 1 star. You'd be like, fuck.
so I know people, like a few people like Razor Ruddock did it, and like people like no, starving. Like left because starving. Couldn't do it.
I'd convince them
Starving
we were on a
hungry.
weight loss program and we're all going to look hot when we
You've
come
got to
out.
cut down before you go on, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got to shrink your stomach.
100%
That's
you
what
have
you gotta do.
to. Otherwise, you will starve. Although, if you were trying to lose a bit of weight, I mean, you're coming out looking good.
Yeah.
True,
That's what I'm saying. Just think of it as weight
Yeah,
loss camp.
I'd do it. I think I'm open to doing most of it, but I think it does depend whether it affects on your life as in time. I mean, it's people over 10 weeks, or I don't know if celebrity one's longer or shorter. Or
They're
what,
doing
but-
it 6
don't
weeks,
know.
I think.
Oh, is
They're
it 6
changing.
weeks,
No,
the normal
the
ones?
Big Brother one, they're changing to 6 weeks
Yeah,
now.
it's
aren't
starting
they?
Was
Oh,
it? Yeah,
it's-
celebrity one, I think, used to be like 3 weeks, didn't it?
Yeah, but the
3 weeks.
normal
I
one,
think
they're
3 weeks is hard, you know.
Do you reckon?
24 hours a day, no telly, no distraction from the people you with. Imagine if you're trapped with people you cannot
It's
stand.
people in our this industry as well can be highly strung as well, isn't it? Like different characters,
Yeah.
isn't there? Because you've seen it on the old
It'd be
ones.
quite interesting, I suppose, if you look at it from like just a life experience. Probably an interesting experience.
You got to make your own games up, and keep yourself entertained with people.
Yeah. You'd be wicked on it.
I'd do it.
Imagine all the tasks.
I'd
You'd
do
do
them
them
all.
all.
Yeah, I'd muck about.
You'd say things that were just like you're not very PC though. I'd just be dying inside.
I think that'll come back around where people will start get past all
Well,
this
maybe in
snowflake
10 years
generation
you could go
shit.
then.
I think so. I think we are going back. I think it has to. I think you end up you can't be able to speak.
Yeah. Too afraid to say anything. It can't be like that. I'm fucking bored of all that.
Yeah, I think it's a bit too much one way now.
It is.
Nicole?
No comment.
No comment. No.
Reserving judgment.
No.
Yeah, no, it is a balance. I do think there's a balance. You have to be able to take a joke and know what's a joke and what is inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to the old school.
My main thing in life is I want to play in Soccer Aid.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's the only thing you actually
It's the only thing I
wanna
actually want to do. No, I'm nowhere near it. I messaged them this year. Any danger of a call up? No one got back to me.
Really?
Yeah, DM'd them. Any danger? I do know the company that own it as well. And I didn't think about it, but I said to his mate yesterday, get me in that.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised at that.
You'd like to do that,
I'm only on
wouldn't you?
Cheshire Housewives, aren't I?
Man, you're barely then.
Yeah, Lee Mack plays in goal. Lee Mack, yeah, but I'm playing goal. But Lee Mack plays in goal, doesn't he?
Who's that?
He's a comedian.
Oh.
But they have one pro goalie, and then one. So I could be celebrity.
This ain't a show to pitch yourself, you know.
It's a good opportunity. Jay's got loads of followers.
When are you getting Jay to do your tattoo?
Yeah.
Your terrible tattoo that you've got.
When are we doing it?
We were supposed to, yeah, we need
Film
to
it.
get that done.
They want to film it.
Should
Yeah.
have brought my machines here.
You
shouldn't
can
I?
start now.
Imagine.
I can have it done soon.
Yeah, you can. You definitely need to sort that tattoo out.
She doesn't like my tattoo.
I mean, I don't think it's bad.
Well, it's just nothing, is it? It's just a word. It just could be enhanced upon.
My dad died. I got the tattoo, and my dad died, and she's at it.
I don't think he'll mind that you need to enhance it.
Do you know what you want?
No, she was going to design it. That's what the deal
Make
was.
it all about me.
That was the deal.
Yeah.
2 big boobs.
Not really.
Hey, we could get your face. Now you've got black hair. I'll cover that in your hair.
I don't want to face on me. Bloody hell. Everywhere I look anyway.
Got a pair of eyes.
He's like staring at me like I'm a wrong one.
Is that your only tattoo?
Yeah.
Really?
I was 18.
Was you, yeah?
Yeah, 18. 18.
I've got, like, where I had my tummy done, I've only got half a tattoo now.
Really?
Yeah, I've got to have to sort that out at some point.
Cut it in half, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well,
We'll get fixed.
you're with the guy who fixes the tattoos.
The tattoo game at the minute as well, that's an industry that I've just seen blowing up.
Tattooing.
People waiting months and months.
Yeah.
Busy, isn't it?
Well, funnily enough, I had this conversation. I only take bookings 2 months in advance. And it's because...
Only?
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people, like I know a lot of tattooists have booked up 6 months,
That's
a year,
what I
2
mean.
years.
It can
Problem is, say like if you wanted a sleeve now and you booked in a session for me, right? And then you book it and you go, love that. When can I get it again? I go, I've got 2 year wait.
yeah.
You're probably going to go somewhere else to try and get it finished because you want it done. You're not going to wait 2 years.
No.
Plus, if you keep having that, you're going to have people going, they'll stop messaging you because you can never get in with him.
Yeah.
He's got a 2 year
So
wait.
you do blocks.
So you end up getting a reputation for being someone you
think
can't
you're
get
right.
in with.
I
Yeah.
think you're right.
So a month to 2 months maximum I take. So always new
It makes
customers
sense,
can come
yeah.
in. And it works perfect for me, that. Plus, I'm always like, if something comes up and I need to shoot somewhere, I can maneuver things around.
Yes.
People aren't going to have to
And
wait.
how do you find people booking in with your studio and wanting you?
I do all my own emails.
You do. So you do. Or do you have any other tattooists in your?
My brother, just me and my brother.
So you haven't got like a 10, but you're past. Some people have the face of it and then they just whack them over, don't they? You're
Yeah.
not doing that. You and your brother do it, all of it.
Yeah, literally just me
So they
and my
know what
brother.
they're getting with you guys, don't they?
They message him
I mean, that's
directly
brilliant.
if they want him and me directly if they want me.
I think that's brilliant.
It's so much
Your
easier.
hands on.
Because I could have a receptionist, but when you see what people want and the detail, you can't have someone who doesn't.
Because you
who's
could
not the
easily
tattooist telling them.
franchise out, couldn't you?
Yeah,
If you wanted to.
Yeah.
But you would have no control of their
that's
standards.
it. And you know what? I'll be honest. I don't trust anyone. Like I don't trust anyone. I've had experiences in business before where people have done me over, and also, like I was just saying, then as a tattooist, I need to speak to the client. Like it has to be like
It's a very
they'll send
personal thing, a
It
tattoo,
is.
isn't it?
Like you could tell me something you want, and if you're speaking to someone, if I go, "Oh, Jacob does it," like he'll deal with it, and he doesn't have a clue about tattooing. He's only going to ask me anyway, and it's going through a third party. Just speak to me. I'll sort it out. It's so much easier.
And when you
faster.
learn to be a tattooist, that turned me into interviewing you now. Joe Sealey podcast.
The Joe Sealey.
How do you learn? What is the process of that?
Well, you have to get an apprenticeship first of all. So
Okay.
I had a shop where I got an apprenticeship because you find people who start practicing from home, it's well dangerous. Like they don't sterilise their shit enough and give infections. So apprenticeship first off. I was lucky I got an apprenticeship around the corner from my house. And then it's a case of, first of all, you learn about the health and hygiene before you even pick up a tattoo machine. Then you practice, well, you're meant to practice on like fake skin, but there's nothing like real skin. So I just had a lot of stupid mates who let me fucking have a go. Basically, my mate's like, I was like, will you let me do a tattoo? And he's like, yeah, sound, it's free. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's free for a reason because it's going to be shit. Like,
did you go back and fix them?
Pardon?
Did you go back and fix them now?
Well, there's a funny story. Me and my brother had this mate, and I started tattooing 3 years before my brother. And I did my second ever tattoo on his back. Fuck knows what I was doing to him because it's disgusting, yeah? He had this bulldog on his back and I covered it with this Polynesian tribal thing. It looks like an hybrid. It's a bit weird. It's just black square. And then my brother learned to tattoo 2 years later, and he did his first ever tattoo next to it. So his back is fucked. But the whole time his back. And we were out one night, on a night out, and he was going, oh, Jay and Danny did my tattoos. He's lifting something. I was going, I can fucking put yours on now. Don't show anyone that. It's fucking shit. Oh, God, it was horrible. So, yeah, I've got a few people walking around with some shit work of mine. I'm better now. Like you said, you're only as good as your last tattoo. My last tattoo was sick.
It is true, though. It is true.
It's true. That's interesting. I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you were still hands-on.
Yeah.
I think that's great. I think that's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah. I think a lot of people message me and they're like, I can't believe I've been able to get in with you and so fast. I'm just like...
Because you do that. It makes sense.
Yeah, that's it. So, unfortunately, that's
time.
That's the time, guys. But thanks so much for coming. Like, you've
thanks
been
for inviting
wicked.
us.
Honestly, you've been so
I've enjoyed
funny,
it.
so entertaining. I knew you would be.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks
really
very
enjoyed
much.
it.
Yeah, thanks,
Really
guys.
appreciate
Cheers.
for having us.
Thank you.